In Good Shape, your weekly dose of health information on Deutsche Welle. Find out more about what's new in medical treatment, alternative medicine, as well as nutrition, wellness, and beauty. Medical professionals, therapists, and counselors are in our studio to offer their expert advice on In Good Shape.
And with me in the studio is Professor Matthias Pirlich, who heads the Department of Internal Medicine at Berlin's Elizabeth Hospital. He's also a nutrition expert. Welcome to the show. Hi. Let's talk about fats. Fats have a very, very bad reputation. They're said they're harmful to our health and they are cause for obesity. Is this all true?
Fat is not bad per se. It's not the evil in the kitchen. But actually we need fat. Fat is a part of a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle. And also the human body consists to a certain percentage of fat. So we need fat.
So what do we need it for?
Fat is important as an energy storage. So if we have no access to food, we can take the fat from our body for energy metabolism. Fat is part of the cell membranes. Fat provides precursors of hormones and mediators. And fat can also influence the immune system. And in addition, fat is tasty, so it helps us to eat and to like food.
So it's not the wisest idea of very health-conscious people to get rid of fat at all in the diet?
Oh no, because then we would become depleted by certain essential parts of the fat we cannot produce, which are important for us. Also, we would deplete it by vitamins, which are fat-soluble. So we need fat for a healthy life.
But we do distinguish between saturated and unsaturated fats. Could you shortly explain what's the difference?
The difference is a chemical one. It's rather complicated to explain, but to make it simple, the saturated fat is part of the animal fat of meat, and the saturated fat is found in a higher percentage in vegetable oils, for instance.
And the saturated fats are the healthy ones and the unsaturated are the less healthy ones?
In a very rough view, yeah.
Isn't it annoying that all those tasty alternatives like meat and cakes are full of unsaturated fats? So should I just, of saturated fats, sorry, should I just skip all those tasty alternatives of my diet?
Not completely. To a certain percentage, it's fine to have also saturated fat in the food, but if we have more than 10% of the daily energy requirement covered by saturated fat, then it becomes a health risk.
Okay, about health risk, we got a viewer question. Shamha Knief from Uruguay asked, does butter rise the cholesterol level?
If you take a lot of butter every day, then you would probably increase the cholesterol level. But in general, the influence of the diet on the blood cholesterol level is overestimated. So the influence of diet on cholesterol level is not so big as thought in the past.
Okay, so and how do I know if I eat too much fat? Is it okay just to weigh myself on a regular basis, or do I really have to look it up in some books if I'm eating too much fat?
I think the scale will not tell you exactly about the amount of fat. It will tell you, if you gain weight, about the energy intake and the energy balance. But if you follow some very simple recommendations, you can have a good balance to better fat. So that, let's say, if you avoid too much meat and you take more vegetable oils, then you have probably a very good balance.
Dr. Pirlich, are trans fats really that dangerous?
Actually, trans fats occur also in natural food, so in dairy products or so, but in a very low percentage. In the Western world, the high consumption of fast food really increases the consumption of trans fat. This is associated with cardiovascular diseases, so stroke and myocardial infarction. So we can say they are not really good for health.
But there are some tendencies, especially in the US, to ban trans fats altogether from the diet. Might this be the right approach?
I think it is not bad to go this way, because and even in European countries, there are some countries who decided to reduce the content of trans fat, because we know that a high consumption of it is, for the general population, is not good.
So, but until it's banned, until government does something, should I just keep French fries off my diet?
I think you can eat French fries once in a while. It's really a question of the lifestyle. If you eat fast food every day, then it's very likely to have an increased intake of trans fat, and this is not good.
But it's not all about fast food and French fries. Trans fats even occur in your own kitchen. If you heat up oil, can you prevent this?
By the selection of the right fat for cooking or for roasting, you can avoid this. So
what kind of oils should you use when you do cooking?
If you're preparing cold dishes, you can use almost every vegetable oil. But for cooking at a higher temperature, we recommend to use certain fats which are more stable, such as canola oil or other oils.
And what happens to the oil if you raise the temperature? Does the composition change, or is it just trans fat?
The fat can burn, actually, and then the fatty acids, part of the fat, are destroyed by the heating. And also, where meat has, for instance, contact to the pan, there can be toxic products and also cancerogenic products occurring. So this is the true danger.
And there's another oil we should talk about. It's the omega-3 fat, which is found in fish. Would you recommend eating a lot of fish?
Yeah, that's recommended by almost all scientific societies because omega-3 fatty acids have several good effects, and we know they are cardioprotective, and they have also good influences on metabolism in cancer patients. And in general, we have also a better balance between anti-inflammatory and pro-inflammatory cytokines, so it's good for the immune system to have a high intake of omega-3 fatty acids.
So I should eat fish once a week or twice a week?
Once to twice a week is a good size.
And what if I don't like fish at all? Should I stay to nuts and seeds? And are they full of omega-3, or what's the alternative?
Yeah, there are some vegetable oils which contain also a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, such as canola oil, but also linseed oil. The problem with linseed is it's not very tasty.
Okay. And what about nuts and seeds? Are they high energy? So if I eat a lot of nuts, I will get fat.
Yeah, that's true. So you should not eat too much nuts. That's true.
Okay. Okay, great. I like nuts, but I've cut down a little bit my nuts then. Okay. Thanks for being in the studio. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.